my jowls. I started noticing in photos this jowliness right here. I always had in my mind that as I reached half a century that I would probably want to get a facelift. I've always felt like I'm okay looking, but like in the couple years leading up to that, I didn't want any photos taken. I didn't feel pretty when I got ready. This was just like the issues that I was having here were just constantly on my mind, and I was always laser focused on that if I had to take a picture. And every time I would hate this area. I did a lot of research. I looked in Southern California, a lot of great surgeons down there. And then I talked around to my friends. I actually have a friend who's a hairdresser. So she has the inside on who's had work done and where. And Blackhawk came up several times. So she decided to check it out. It was great. My consultation with Dr. Ronan, what he does is, I was expecting him to take a look and go, okay, we need to do this, this, this. He doesn't operate that way. He says, what do you not like? And then works backwards into that. So it was really refreshing. I did feel supported and informed after my consultation. Brett, who works with Dr. Ronan, was always there to answer any of my follow-up questions. Even if she wasn't the person to give the answer, she would connect me with whomever I needed to get answers. My day of surgery, I was a little bit nervous, but very excited. It was pretty smooth. I came in super early. New staff on this side that I hadn't met on the other side. They were very welcoming, made me feel very comfortable, and helped calm me down, both with talking to me and a little cocktail in my IV. My recovery, as far as like the first few days, waking up, I was super swollen, but it was so much less than I thought it was going to be. I've had procedures elsewhere and it's been brutal. Waking up from anesthesia, shaking and things like that. This was like so pleasant. I woke up and the nurse was rubbing my lips with water and calmly talking to me. And I had very clear instructions when I went home. I figured that first week would be brutal. The second week I planned to work from home, and then I was hoping that maybe I could return on that third week. I would say within a week after surgery, I felt like pretty enough to go out and about. I noticed them immediately. Even though there was a lot of swelling going on, probably within the first day or two, I could see that my skin quality had improved dramatically. And just every day after, I could tell that this was nice and tight. Man, it's night and day. I have my confidence back. I love being in photos. I'm going out. I'm doing things. I feel good when I dress up. I get a ton of compliments. In fact, when I returned to work, that was just 2 weeks post-op. And one of my coworkers says, wow, you look really refreshed. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. So I was like, that's exactly what I want to hear. Absolutely. A totally renewed confidence that I didn't have before. In fact, I had posted on social media some before and after photos, and complete stranger said, I can tell that you got your spark back she was like, you were beautiful before, but I can tell you have your spark back after. It is a very personal journey and not something that I talked about, like at work or things like that. But I feel like as women, we owe it to each other to share what our experience is, to help educate other women who might be thinking about getting a procedure. And there's so much on social media that is manufactured in these like over the top results. So I think it's good for real women to speak and show, here's the expectation, here's the reality. Do your homework. Make sure that you feel comfortable with whomever you're going to be working with. That's a huge, huge piece, because you need that support after. I had a lot of questions come up, and immediately I got answers, or I was asked to come into the office to see Dr. Ronan. So I think it's really important to get comfortable with your team beforehand. I would absolutely highly recommend Dr. Ronan and Blackhawk Plastic Surgery. The service I've received has completely exceeded my expectations as well as my results. I'm blown away how everything has turned out. Completely happy, and definitely will be a repeat customer.